all on social media. The Kaspersky Lab recently released a survey that found most of the people who use social media don't actually understand the risks. Now, joining me on Skype is David M. from the Kaspersky Lab. David, what does this mean?
Well, I think if people don't understand the risks of any sort of activity, the problem is that they then run into problems. Because let's take an example of the real world. We go into the city, there's a danger of busy roads, we could get our pockets picked, we could get mugged. All of those are real threats, but it doesn't stop us going into the city. We just take precautions to minimize the risk. But if you don't understand what the risks are, then potentially you're at a bigger risk than you would have been.
All right, David, now what are the risks when using social media?
Okay, well, cyber criminals are not that different to pickpockets in the real world. They need victims, and therefore they look for a big pool of victims, and social media, social networks are the places where they can find a big pool of potential victims. Now, what they're looking to do is to partly gather information, because we all, even if we do understand the risks, we tend to be very unguarded in what we say and what we share in social networks. And that information that we share can be used to frame attacks. So maybe we give away personal information like our address, our email address. We can give away location information. We can give information about friends and contacts. We can give information about the company that we work for as well. All of that information can then be used to launch further attacks. So if information about me or about my friends is included in a phishing email, then it looks much more legitimate than if it was just a basic phishing email that was trying to get me to click on a link. So that's the first thing. They're trying to use it for information. The second is they're using it as a mechanism to spread malicious software, so-called malware. So if they take over my account, let's say on Facebook, if they're able to hack my account because I have a weak password, then anybody who's friends with me on Facebook could receive a message from me with a link in it which could contain malware. And because it comes from me, my friends are much more likely to click on that link.
Getting back to the survey, were there any results from this survey that surprised you?
I don't think so. One of the things that is interesting, I think, is the fact that of the 0.6 of a billion phishing attacks that we saw in 2013, a third of those related to social networks. Now, I think, in fact, that is likely to grow and grow over time, because, it's in the survey, it's said alongside, in terms of the common things that people do. Social networking is one of them, email is another one, reading was another example. But actually, if you look at different age ranges among young people, email probably is less significant than social networking is in their lives. So I think actually this is going to grow rather than diminish. And again, it comes back to the idea that all of us, before we set foot in the virtual world of social networking, need to make sure that we're aware of the risks and adopting some sort of online common sense guidelines, really.